Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we have word on what the third Fantastic Beasts movie is going to be called. The Secrets of Dumbledore.
I laughed. Well, because I guess it's not only I'm assuming they mean other secrets. But it was like, of all the titles you could pick, I told Squid King and he's like, no.
Yes.
No.
Oh
really?
God, it's gonna be
the jokes.
The jokes write themselves. Yeah. Here, hat tip for those of you who don't know. Spoiler: Dumbledore's gay.
Yeah.
Dumbledore and Grindelwald.
Here's the kicker. It was retroactive. Like after the books that came out, Rowling decided that I wasn't inclusive as I should have been, and then said that's what happened. Which I have absolutely no problem with whatsoever. But my comment is, if you're going to call it this, and people are expecting that, you better double down in this movie. I want to see this in this movie. You better do it, because otherwise you're just as bad as retroactively going back and changing things. So if you're going to go there, you need to go there.
Well, one thing's for sure. One of Dumbledore's secrets will not be that he is trans, but...
Oh, no, that's bad. No, you can't. No.
Anyway, we'll
no. She got in so much trouble for that.
We're going to talk about that because people are angry that this movie exists.
Well, they're angry. Anything of Harry Potter exists after they keep spending money on it.
Yeah, as they keep spending money on it. Actually, it's still, well, I don't know. The last two movies were shitty.
The last movie, the last one, the second Fantastic Beasts, that sucked.
Oh, it was horrible. It was like hands down the worst Harry Potter or anything. It was really bad. We're going to talk about that. We're going to roll the Johnny Depp cancel culture thing into
Well, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He got canceled from the third Grindelwald movie, and Mads Mikkelsen, I guess, is playing Grindelwald, which, okay.
Yeah, but to his credit, he even said that, he was happy on the part, but I think he also was like, it's a bad circumstance what happened, and he said some nice things, and I think he feels bad, but it was what it was.
Yeah, this Johnny Depp situation is ridiculous. Warner Brothers really jumped the gun, I think, in cutting him loose.
Well, yeah, they still won't fire Amber Heard.
No, and there's all kinds of crap coming out of her, so I'm like,
if you're gonna do it and you're gonna punish somebody who thinks did something bad, then you punish them the same.
Right. So, but we know that's not how it works current year. So we're going to talk about all this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 235,000 subs. Thank you for the support. Yeah, a lot of people are like, we don't need any more Harry Potter.
They were joking like Dumbledore's stage name was Fantastic Beast before he was Dumbledore.
Yes.
Stuff like that. We know Dumbledore has a lot of secrets. I mean, that was obvious in the movies.
You were gonna buy a Dumbledore doll. To see what kind of underpants he wore.
If he wore underpants, that is a completely true story. When they had the dolls out a couple years ago, I wanted to buy one so bad. I didn't because I was just wasting money. But I wanted to buy it because they were wearing robes, and I'm like, what they put on them underneath?
He should wear a thong, like a glittery thong.
I would have bought it, and if they didn't have anything on there that I thought was appropriate enough, I would have painted it or made it my own way to make it fit.
Anyway,
thong with them, beautiful.
So the salt isn't that people are mad. Like, why are we doing another movie after they booted Johnny Depp out? Why are we doing another movie because it wasn't good? It was like, why are we making more Harry Potter movies because J.K. Rowling is awful? We hate her. She needs to go away. She needs to be canceled. They've tried to cancel the game, but they canceled one of the developers instead, which was garbage.
Here's the problem. When it's a small contingency of people who have a problem with it and the rest of the world globally likes it, you're going to be hard-pressed to cancel it because you don't like something she said.
Yeah, anytime the media, well, not all of the media, basically far left geek media, anytime they talk about this franchise, immediately it's, how dare they? Because J.K. Rowling is awful. Now, this franchise still makes a lot of money in the theme parks. Universal is killing it with Potter stuff. I mean, they always sell Potter stuff. Those movies are beloved, but I kind of look at the Fantastic Beasts as like the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
Like they're not as good, but actually the Star Wars prequels are better than that.
The first one I liked.
It was okay.
The second one,
what the hell?
by the end, I mean, what they did, what's going on with Queenie? Come on. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it because you didn't see it, but I'm just like, that made no sense at all.
Yeah, that was weird. At that point, honestly, I just checked out.
I was
I'm
like,
like
what
halfway
the flip
through
is going on?
halfway through this movie, I'm like,
It
I
wasn't
don't give a shit anymore. But yeah, so we're gonna find out what the secrets of Dumbledore are. But yeah, this is coming from AV Club. Has a new title, new release date. Same old massively disappointing writer. Her script will reveal the secrets of Dumbledore next April, as if anyone can bring themselves to care.
Actually, a lot of people care. It was trending on Twitter. And not just for the reasons you're saying.
My, how times change. I remember 10, 12 years ago, all the Dumbledore and Grindelwald slash on Tumblr. Mm-hmm. You know, their wands pointing skyward. Their Patronuses canoodling. You know? Oh my God. You know, he rises like a phoenix.
I love you.
That's why it's called the Order of the Phoenix, because it's like, I think he's done, but he's rising again from the ash. And there were also, to be fair, there was Dumbledore and Harry Potter slash too.
I know, but that's what people say.
Tumblr was very, very excited for all things Dumbledore.
And she was a hero when she retroactively went back and made him gay, even though there was no indication of it in the book.
Zero indication. And I remember getting blasted. I got blasted on a message board. I think it was Comics Beat. I think I posted in the comments. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, isn't this great that Dumbledore's gay?" I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be that guy. If they wanted to do this, wouldn't it have made more sense to maybe mention it at least once offhandedly in the books? Because it seems how dare you? This is a great moment.
It felt like they were just like, it was one of those hand-me-down type moments, you know? It's like, well, it's trendy to be that way, so I'm now going to make him gay, even though I had all this opportunity to actually give real representation in the books and didn't choose to. It was like a hand-me-down moment.
Well, people thought he was getting on with McGonagall, you know, and then nope. He didn't like pussy. So, you know, she's like, and she just said offhandedly at like some book reading or something. She's like, "Oh, I just thought he was kind of gay." And it went from that to like he's kind of gay to like, "Yes, he's very gay. I always planned it." And Hermione's black.
His Patronus is Claude from Star Wars.
Anyway, so here's the thing, because we'll talk about cancel culture, because at this point, like, J.K. Rowling's canceled. And they got Johnny Depp pushed out of the movie. You know, he's still got $10 million.
They can't push her out.
They can't push her out.
That's why they're like, we don't need Harry Potter anything anymore, because they can't push her out.
We saw so many salty articles with the video game. People are like, "This game looks amazing. It looks so good, but I can't give J.K. Rowling mine. Can't we make Harry Potter without her?" It's like, no, you dumb bitches. She made sure she got the best contract in all of publishing. In fact, they changed the rules for her because she has control of everything.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, you grew up with it, you loved it, but you can't separate her from it. You're just going to have to deal with it. Life's full of tough choices, isn't it? Isn't it? So some people are like, "Oh, I'm just going to buy a used copy." I'm like, well, somebody else had to buy it new.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I mean, really, that's where we're at. I'm going to buy a used copy so I don't feel so guilty.
And they'll pirate the movies.
Pirate the movies. It's okay. Some Karen and her kids, they're going to go buy a bunch of wands down in Orlando, and she's still going to get rich. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's going to be rich forever. There's nothing you can do about it.
No.
You know? But I will agree. We don't need any more subpar Harry Potter movies.
I agree with that, yeah. And I mean, but the title was hilarious. I mean, it's not so much a secret now, obviously. So I'm sure they're talking about other things as well. And they kind of alluded to it the last movie. But I just thought it was funny. It made me laugh. Lol.
So this whole thing is about, this whole article starts off with
it's AV Club. That's why.
AV Club starts off with what an awful person she is. And then eventually we get to the stupid ass title.
Which is the point.
And
by the end, what last paragraph, they go back and complain again? That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, let me see here.
That's usually how it goes.
Yep. Secrets, allegedly the third of an eventual 5 of these damn things, also has a new release date of April 15th, 2022.
Well, it's not for you.
Apparently, if there are 2 things you can't avoid in life, it's Death Eaters and taxes, and apparently telling people you have strong, angry opinions about their personal gender identity.
Well, you know what? it's okay when they have strong, angry opinions about other people's different things about other people, their race, their gender, their sexual orientation. It's okay when they have strong opinions.
It stars Eddie Redmayne, Catherine Watterson, Jude Law, Ezra Miller, and the final lingering vapors of Johnny Depp's audience summoning ability. Which brings us to Johnny Depp.
Yeah, where are does AV Club have all the articles about the stuff that comes out about Amber Heard that is actually proven?
No, they do not. They do not. No. Yeah, so Johnny Depp spoke ahead of his reception, the honorary Dynastia Award at this year's entry at the San Sebastian Film Festival. Depp asserted it can be seen as an event in history that lasted for however long it lasted. This cancel culture, this instant rush to judgment based on what essentially amounts to polluted air. It's so far out of hand now, I can promise you that no one is safe.
Nope, you're not. They'll say you last.
Not one of you. Not one out the door, no one is safe. That is true. I mean, this is what we tell people about Twitter. Now, regardless of what you think of Johnny Depp, regardless of what you think about the situation, that's a whole nother topic, regardless of what you think about J.K. Rowling. At this point in time, the Twitter outrage mob and the media that supports them can cancel anybody for any infraction anytime. Like, you know, and there are people that think they're safe. They virtue signal on Twitter. You know, they make sure they retweet. Yeah, that's...
No, not in this movie.
No. That is...
That's She-Ra.
That is how you get somebody canceled.
You retweet.
It was a simple retweet, and now I don't have a job. Yeah, but no, it's true. They you know, we see it with comics all the time. We see it in animation all the time, video games. These developers and people working, you know, a lot of people have been smart and they've been leaving social media completely because every time you tweet, you are giving these outrage mobs rope to hang you with.
Right, and they will. And we've seen people that we know that were friends of ours, personal friends of ours, not talk to us anymore, even before we even started this channel, because we got lumped in with something, even if we weren't part of that group. And the idea that we might be was enough that, we have to make sure everybody knows we don't know them. Yeah. You know, it's and then the joke's on them. They didn't get any work from it anyway. But this is how this works. And it's because, you know, it's a he said, she said, even if you, at the base of it, at the end of the day, they both seem, even if you believe like what she said about him, he said about her, that means they both are shitty people, but only one of them is punished.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's if you go by just clearly on what was said about each other, not by what's factually been out there.
Yeah, so I mean, this is Harry Potter's been canceled by Twitter. The rest of the world doesn't really seem to care. They just care that the movies are shitty. So general audiences cancel Fantastic Beasts 3, it's because Fantastic Beasts 2 was a piece of shit.
Right. Yeah, because the world at large doesn't care about what Twitter thinks.
No.
And most people don't have the same sensibilities as Twitter. Twitter is very, very, and all these media outlets are a very, very small voice in the vast ocean of voices that is the global audience.
Yeah.
And they tend to overinflate their importance. And they tend to believe that everybody should base everything they do on their opinions. And most of the world doesn't care what they think.
Yeah, they don't. And that's why they do it, because it gives them a power trip. Mm-hmm. A lot of the people who do this canceling don't have any power in their real life, their personal lives, whatever.
A lot of them are like kids or like young adults that are just like, you know, on the internet, constantly looking for things to be pissed about.
Yeah, I mean, it can be likened literally to the Salem witch trials.
Oh, yeah,
a bunch of teenagers. You know.
Yeah, and in this case, you know, she made accusations, Amber Heard made accusations, and then instead of waiting to find out what was true and what wasn't, he was pushed at everything. And now whether he might be guilty for some things, we honestly don't know. I mean, just what we can see, we weren't there. We're not going to claim we do know. But what I can tell you is, based on what I have seen, that she is just as guilty if anything he ever did, if not more so.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit that she gets rewarded because, frankly, she's a woman. And he gets cast out of things, you know. It's not right. Either you treat them the same, you know, either they both are okay or they both get punished. This is bullshit. And cancellation is out of control. It is. It's like the Salem witch trials.
Yep. And really what's going to stop it is when...
Common sense?
That's never going to happen. When people realize that we're running out of people to cancel, or cancel culture picks the wrong target, and they're like, hey, maybe we've gone too far. And this is already happening. You're seeing some celebrities that were for cancel culture backpedal now and be against it, or people who have been canceled, like Bill Maher, who was canceled after 9/11, now all of a sudden he's anti-cancel culture.
Well, you know what's funny to me? It reminds me of last summer. Well, not this last summer, summer before last, 2020. When all the crap was going down with the riots and the looting and all that stuff. And there was all these celebrities that were like, yeah, it's right, you go, until they got close to their neighborhoods. And then they're like, well, don't burn my house down, or don't you stay away from me, though. I support you as long as you don't come anywhere near where I am. You know, and it's like all these people are like, oh, socialism, 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 power to the people, down with taxes and all that crap. And it's the celebrities that I don't see them lining up first.
Yeah, you give your millions.
Sign up.
Yeah, you give your millions away there, Mark Ruffalo. You give all your money away, and then we'll talk.
Because if I look like I'm on your side, you're not going to come after me. But that's the thought.
That's what this is all about. This is all about, basically having this mob, weaponizing this mob, and having them go after your enemies at first, but eventually they turn on you.
Right. Angry mobs are angry mobs.
They're angry mobs.
As long as they have something to be angry about, that's all they care about.
Yep. And Hollywood has been, we talked about this in other videos. Hollywood's been stoking the fires to try to use that as a marketing tool, and now it's
going to come back and bite you in the ass.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So there we go. Harry Potter canceled as far as many pop culture blogs are concerned. It's still gonna make money. I mean, it still will.
100%. Because there's a lot of people who still like Harry Potter, and a lot of people can separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
Too. A lot of people like Harry Potter. I don't have to like J.K. Rowling. I don't have to agree with her, but I still like the movies, or I still like the books, or I still like whatever. Because that's happened for many years. You might like something, and you might not always agree with people that created it. You might not even know what their thoughts on things are. Social media makes it that you do, because they don't shut up. But for years, you might have supported somebody or loved their work, and then later found out that they do something that you don't like, but you still like the work. They're different. They're not, artists from the work.
It was so much easier when we just consumed without knowing who was making this stuff necessarily. Or you would see just occasional interviews, magazines, read.
And they were on their best behavior.
They were on their best behavior.
Like Sunday at Sears.
Yeah. Yeah. And now, because everybody knows what everybody else is thinking, now you're like, oh, hey, Hollywood's full of garbage people, just like every other aspect of America, right?
There's and if you make one misstep, you say the wrong thing about, I don't know, the wrong thing about what political leanings you have, or the wrong thing about what you think about current positions on vaccination or whatever, you end up, in the crosshairs.
Vaccination is the new V word you're not allowed to say.
Right.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, I have to make dinner.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.